here. And as always, before I get started off with the video, I just want to say thank you guys for all the support that you guys have been offering on the channel. So I want to go on ahead and preface this video by saying that, you know, this top 10 reactive camos list is in my personal opinion. And if you agree, if you disagree, hey, that's cool, you know what I'm saying? But it's, my personal opinion. It's based off of cosmetics, and, obviously they don't affect the performance of your weapon or whatever else. But to me, they're just my favorite, and, I'll explain why they're my favorite or whatever. And, yeah, we're going to get into it. So, obviously, reactive camos was made new this year in Black Ops 4. This is the first time we've ever seen this, you know what I'm saying? Like, that actually changed. We've obviously seen, what is it, weaponized 115. We've seen that in, Black Ops 2 already. We've seen Afterlife in Black Ops 2 already, but we've never seen a camo that visually changes colors, such as it does right here. Such as, Nebula does right here, and many others, you know what I'm saying? We've never seen it before in a Call of Duty game, so this feature is new. But, regardless of that, I'm gonna go on ahead and give you guys my top 10 reactive camos that are my favorite in the game that I have, okay? So, obviously, there are some camos here that I don't have, that are reactive camos, obviously, the one for the MX9, I forgot what that freaking camo is called, but that junk is dope. It's like green and purple, it's got like green and purple flames to it or whatever. Now that junk's dope. If I could get that camo, then, I'd buy it, just outright. What's up, Cousin Malik? What's good, man? Been a while. But, regardless of that, we have, two honorable mentions that didn't quite make the list, but you could call this a top 12 list. It doesn't really matter, you know what I'm saying? It's my opinion. But we're going to go ahead and start off with number 12, and that's the Vanguard. This camo right here, I got this from the black market in the reserves, and the reason it, didn't quite make my list is because, freaking, you have to play objective game modes to get this camo. Not to get the camo, well, yeah you do. To unlock the camo itself, you have to, I think it's like 25 objective kills or something like that, and then you get it. But regardless of that, I don't play objective-based game modes. I play, team deathmatch, hardcore team deathmatch, kill confirmed, whatever. Well, kill confirmed is an objective game mode, isn't it? Well, regardless of that, I just don't really use it that much. I mean, it's a dope camo, don't get me wrong. It looks really, really good on the swordfish or whatever, but regardless of that, it makes the number 12 spot on the list today. Moving on to the number 11 spot. This one was kind of hard for me to put on here. I'm kind of torn. Okay, so it would probably have to be the road trip camo. Now, don't get me wrong, the road trip camo is pretty dope, you know what I'm saying? But for me, it just doesn't, stick out like the other camos do. Don't get me wrong, this is a pretty dope camo, like I said, but it just doesn't hold, I guess, that much of a sentimental value to me that the rest of the camos do. So that's why I'm putting it at number 11. So to kick off the list at number 10, I'm probably going to have to go, oh man, I didn't put these in order or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have them, written down or whatever, but I will tell you what my favorite one is at the end of the video, obviously, when we get to number 1. But it would probably be, Killathon. Killathon is probably my top 10 favorite reactive camo in the game. I mean, it's a really dope camo, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, you can get this in regular TDM or whatever game mode you play. I just don't rock it enough. Maybe if I start rocking it, enough on my weapons, I might actually like it. But, I love the fact that it has a dragon spitting fire towards the barrel, or towards the, lower part of the receiver. It's really freaking dope. It looks really nice, and I love the fact that, you know, it changes colors of the flames and the dragon, and the whole weapon changes. So really dope camo there at number 10, Killathon. Alright, at the number 9 spot, I'm probably gonna have to go with Death Reel. Okay, this was obviously in Blackjack's shop, you know what I'm saying. It was purchasable. I think it was maybe $10, I think, or something like that. Pretty dope camo. Don't get me wrong, I don't, you know, recommend spending money on, you know, anything in this game unless it's, you know, something that you can see, like a, you know, a camo, a mastercraft that you may want, or something that you can see and something that you can get value out of. You see what I'm saying? But regardless of that, I just felt that Death Reel was a really dope camo, and I just had to get it. You know what I'm saying? Just the fact that it has, like, you know, like a tape reel on it, and it's just playing through, you know, all the numbers or whatever. And then you got, you know, from Black Ops 1, when Mason was seeing the numbers, you know, that flashes all throughout. And then the more you get kills, the design changes more and more until you have this, like, I don't know, it looks like, you know, a zombie horror film, you know what I'm saying? So it's pretty dope, and that's why it's at my number 9 spot, I think it was. Wasn't it number 9? Killathon was number 10. Number 9 was Death Reel. Okay, so moving into the number 8 spot, I'm probably going to have to go with APB. And the reason that I put APB above, you know, Death Reel is simply because literally it's, you know, detailing a heist on your weapon the more and more you get kills. And, you know, when your weapon starts flashing, like, that junk, it's pretty dope. It's a pretty clean, you know, camo or whatever. And once you reach that 3 kill mark, then, you know, all of a sudden it changes, and it's, you know, a hell of a lot different. So I think APB is a really dope camo, and yeah, it moves in at the number 8 spot. Moving in at the number 7 spot, we have the Strip. Okay, the Strip is probably one of the more underrated camos in my opinion, and, you know, it cycles through a lot of kill stages. So at the start of the game, you know, it just may look like you're playing regular, you know, animated camo or whatever, and, you know, it's just that. But the more you get kills, you start seeing the lights, you know, going vertically down your weapon and whatnot, and I think that's a pretty dope touch. And then as you move on throughout, you know, the stripes become less noticeable, and then you see, like, alien spaceships and planes and UFOs and all of that fly on there. Then you move down and you start seeing Christmas trees and leaves and, you know, rockets and all of this stuff on your weapon. Then you move down to 20 and, you know, you start seeing the word Rocky pop up there, and it just gets better and better, and it's a freaking dope camo. So the Strip comes in, I think it's at number 7. So there's that. Moving on to number 6, and this is no disrespect to this camo or whatever else. We're gonna go with Soul Eater, okay? Soul Eater is one of the more, like I said, this is also an underrated camo in my opinion. You know, like I said, y'all can feel free to agree or disagree in the comment section or in the chat or whatever else. But, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a really dope camo, but to me, it just seems very generic. Like, it just seems like, you know, it's basically like a weaponized 115 camo, just, you know, with an ocean graphic on it. But then, the more you get kills, you start seeing sharks pop up, and they change colors, and all of a sudden, you have like a dark matter ocean reef with sharks and, you know, stuff cycling through your weapon. Really dope camo, man. Don't get me wrong, it's one of the more underrated ones, but it made the list at number 6, alright? So, we're moving into our top 5, and we've went over some pretty dope camos, you know, Vanguard, Road Trip, Soul Eater, Killathon, Death Reel. That's 5 right there that we went through. And then APB, that's 6, and then the Strip was 7. So we have 5 left. So we have Afterlife left. We have Nebula. Then we have Dogfight. And then we have Weaponized 115. And then we have Plasma Drive. So, at the number 5 spot, we have Dogfight, okay? And the reason why I put Dogfight on here is, simply because of, just the planes. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong, obviously, sharks cycling through on a weapon is pretty, it's pretty dope, but when you have planes, just flying all across your weapon and, it's really detailed, it's pretty freaking cool, don't get me wrong. They could have done more with this camo, though. Like, I just don't really like this, graphic right here. It just doesn't seem, very appealing, if that makes sense. Maybe they could have put some lightning bolts, in there, some rain or whatever, and then the more you cycle through the weapon, your weapon starts, having lightning bolts being struck across it, and then, in one of the graphics, have the lightning bolt actually hit a plane and it blow up or something like that. Now, that would have been dope, but regardless of that, the Dogfight camo comes in at number 5, alright? Moving in to that number 4 camo on the list, we have Plasma Drive, okay? Plasma Drive is one of my more favorite camos in the game. I actually use it quite a lot in Blackout or whatever. And, to me, it's just like ice and lava. You know what I'm saying? That's what this camo reminds me of. You can see that, it fades between, icy vibes and then lava vibes where, you have, like, the red popping up on the weapon or whatever. And then as the more you go throughout the game, it just becomes more, lava-like. And, it becomes, dark matter-ish. So, it's a really freaking dope camo. Plasma Drive comes in on the list at number 4, alright? Now we're in our top 3, okay? We got Afterlife, Nebula, and Weaponized 115, okay? So, we're going to go on ahead and start with number 3, and, these could have really been in any other order, but I feel like I made the confident choice on this one, alright? So, at the number 3 spot, I'm going to have to go with Afterlife. Don't get me wrong, Afterlife is one of the more doper camos, you know what I'm saying? When it was first released in Black Ops 1, or not Black Ops 1, my fault, Black Ops 2, I just had to have it, you know what I'm saying? Like, back when me and my brother used to play on the PlayStation 3, I was actually on the Xbox 360 back then, and, when I seen my brother get, this and, his DLC packs, and, I was asking, like, Mama, like, why didn't I get DLC? Why didn't I get DLC? You know what I'm saying? But regardless of that, once I got my first taste with the Afterlife camo, I started putting it on the PDW-57, the KN, or not the KN, the AN-94, the freaking MSMC, the Vector, all those weapons, it looked good on, and even till this day, you know what I'm saying, the Afterlife camo is one of the more doper ones. So, this moves in at the number 3 spot. Moving on to the number 2 spot. Which one is it? Is it Weaponized? Is it Nebula? I'm gonna go with Weaponized, okay? Don't get me wrong, Weaponized 115, it's one of the best, I guess you could say camos in Call of Duty history. It was released back in Black Ops 2. I forgot the DLC that it was released for, but I think it was released with Grind, and then you had Hydro, and then all those other maps, you know what I'm saying, that were released as a part of the DLC for Black Ops 2. Once you put this on the Peacekeeper, once you put this on any weapon, it was beautiful. And Black Ops 4 just capitalized on it and made it that much more beautiful, okay? Obviously, you got Topaz, and then you have, Amethyst, and then you got, all these other colors that Weaponized 115, takes form into, and it's really freaking dope. It's really beautiful. Obviously, you cycle through, more than 3 colors, but regardless of that, really dope camo at the number 2 spot. And then my best camo, in my opinion, that I've seen so far in this game, and like I said, other than that purple and green one with the MX9 that you can put on the MX9, I forgot what the name of the camo is, but regardless of that, Nebula comes in at the #1 spot, okay? Listen, don't get me wrong, alright? Nebula is a relatively new camo, which was released, I think, with Spectre Rising, maybe this past operation. But regardless of that, once I seen this in the shop, I had to have it, you know what I'm saying? Basically, it's a mix of everything that you want in a camo, okay? At the start of the game, it just starts off, you know, outer space, you know, nebula type, no dark matter, you know, none of that. And then all of a sudden, once you hit 3 kills, it starts to, you know, lavatize and everything, and it starts looking dope. Then when you hit 6 kills, it's just like you have free dark matter right there. Tell me that does not look like dark matter, okay? Like, if you look at this camo right here, and then you go to, oh shoot, I don't have it for the Stingray, my fault, hold on. And then you look at it on the Spitfire, okay? Tell me that this dark matter camo does not, when you get 30 kills, tell me this camo does not look like, you know, this camo right here, once you hit, you know, 6 kills with it. I think it does, and, you know, you could almost call it a cheap man's dark matter, you know what I'm saying? You can act like you have dark matter, you can run around flexing your muscles or whatever else, your little puny tiny muscles, it doesn't matter. And then once you hit 9 kills, you know, that's when the meta of the weapon changes. Let me go back to the swordfish, but that's when, you know, everything changes, and all of the elements that make a camo great, you know, dark matter, nebula, you know, lava, flashing lights, whatever it is, this is the camo that features all of them, okay? And that's why it comes in at my #1 favorite camo, reactive camo, at least, in Black Ops 4, alright? So, let me know what you guys think about my list in the comment section below. What is your favorite camo that's reactive in Black Ops 4? Drop them in the comment section below. But if you guys want to see me do just, you know, obviously, like, I'm not going to really do, you know, these camos right here because they don't really matter to me like that, because I never really use them anyways. Don't get me wrong, this Rocket Box camo is pretty clean for it to not be an animated camo, but regardless of that, if you guys want to see me do, you know, maybe my top, you know, what we got? Let's see, we got 9 here, then we got the technical, that's 14. Maybe my top 10, you know, base camos in the game that you just complete with, you know, or that you just unlock with completing weapons. And then if you want to see my top 10 blackout camos, I'll do that as well. Even though I don't really play blackout or whatever else, I'd still do it. But regardless of that, like I said, be on the lookout for the good quality content that's coming to the channel. Also, the Modern Warfare gameplay that was released today, I'm going to talk about it before I, you know, forget about it, because I put it in the title. We got teased some gameplay of some, you know, Modern Warfare gameplay, and these operators were flying in on the helicopter, and I'm guessing this is how you're going to enter the match, you know what I'm saying? Like, instead of, you know, just spawning into the map, and, you know, you have to, you know, look at your teammates digging up their buttholes or digging up their noses or whatever, and you have to stare at a countdown clock. You actually fly in on a helicopter, and you actually get dropped off in the map that you're playing in. So I think it's really dope. I think every first-person shooter needs to do this. Rather it's Battlefield, rather it's Rainbow, rather it's Call of Duty. You know, really any first-person shooter game needs to do it, because think about it, you just don't randomly spawn up in combat, you know what I'm saying? So I like the fact that, you know, Infinity Ward is taking a realistic approach to, you know, getting their players, you know, I guess you can say, I wouldn't say immortalized, but immersed into the game, and it's really freaking dope. You know what I'm saying? I was looking at gameplay of it, and it looked really dope. And some of the weapon attachments that I've seen, you know, you got foregrips, you got optics, you got stocks, you got, you know, quick draw handles, whatever else it is. This is probably going to be the most customizable Call of Duty we've seen to date, and in terms of weapon attachments. So I'm really excited for this Call of Duty game coming up this year, and I hope you guys are excited about it too. I mean, don't get me wrong, you know what I'm saying? I still have, you know, fears that Activision is gonna start throwing overly priced microtransactions in the game, and it's just gonna ruin it, just like Black Ops 4 got ruined with the introduction of supply drops. But regardless of that, we're not gonna talk about that. That's for a later video. But let me know what you guys think of my top 10 camos list in the comment section below. And as always, you guys, check out Cousin Malik's channel. His link is in the description box below. It should be down there where it says Malik's channel, and it's in the link or whatever, so go check that out. Also, check out Cousin John's channel. His channel is in the featured channels playlist of the channel, so go check him out. And as always, guys, stay motivated, stay dedicated, and I will check you guys out in the next video. Peace out.